Hey, this is Daniel, and the following presentation is Understanding Hard Water and Kinetico's Premier Series Softeners. Hard water occurs naturally. It is water with a high mineral content. It's formed when water percolates through deposits such as limestone, chalk, and gypsum. The largest measure in hard water is calcium and magnesium, commonly known as dissolved rock. Now, hardness is measured in grains per gallon. So what this means is that in 1 gallon of water, there's potentially so many grains of hardness. So for example, if you have 15 grain hardness, that means in 1 gallon of your water, you have 15 grains of dissolved rock in that 1 gallon of water. Approximately 85% of homes in North America live in a hard water environment. And here you'll see the map of Canada with varying grains of hardness level throughout the country. Now, I'll go over the scale here with you. Soft water is considered to have 0 to 0.5 grains per gallon. Slightly hard water has 0.5 to 3.5 grains per gallon. Moderately hard water is 3.5 to 7 grains per gallon. Hard water is 7 to 10 grains per gallon. And then extremely hard water is over 10 grains per gallon. So as you can see here on the coast, it's pretty much soft water. Over here on the east coast, it's slightly hard. But as you can see in Alberta, Saskatchewan, Ontario, it varies between moderately hard water to extremely hard water. Now, I will mention that there is no guideline by the federal government on the amount of hardness that is allowed to be present in potable water. So you could have, let's say, soft water, or you could have extremely hard water. It would still be acceptable as potable water according to Canadian drinking guidelines. The reason we want to soften our water is to protect our home investment and give us great life experiences. About 98% of the water we use every day is called working water. This refers to water we are not consuming. Only about 2% of your water is actually consumed. So that means 98% of your usage is laundry, showering, bathing, washing dishes, and general cleaning, just to name a few. As I mentioned before, about 85% of homes in North America live in a hard water environment and require further treatment. And approximately 20% of your home value goes into general plumbing, appliance, faucets, etc. So to put this in perspective, if your home value is $450,000, that means about $90,000 worth of that investment touches water. So what is it worth to protect that from scale buildup, deterioration, and repairs? We see the effects of hard water in our home every day and just doing simple daily routines. And there's a few points that I want to mention. And first is soap usage. Have you ever questioned why you don't have the same amount of suds in your kitchen sink as they do in the commercials? Well, the reason is your water. The average family will use about 75% more soap in a hard water environment. This will include bathing, laundry, dish detergent, anything you're using soap on. Reason is hard water molecules will prevent soap from lathering. Rather, it forms a white precipitate commonly known as soap scum. You tend to see this buildup on glass shower doors and on your dishes, but also in your everyday appliances such as the dishwasher and washing machine. In fact, many major appliance manufacturers recommend in their troubleshooting guide to increase soap usage if clothes and dishes are not coming out clean. The reason is because the water is preventing the soap from doing its job. The next point I want to talk about is hot water tanks. If you have ever boiled your tap water, you may have noticed a coarse powder that does not wash away. This is a result of heating hard water. Hard water is notorious on hot water tanks. Your hot water tank acts the same way as that kettle. Those hard water deposits cause a scale buildup and increase the element burnout and decrease the efficiency because the element has to work harder to heat the water. A lot of consumers have switched to on-demand tanks, which are supposed to be more efficient than traditional tanks. However, much of these manufacturers do not warranty units that have hard water running through them, as it affects and damages the unit. Now, consumers tend to question their quality of water when they see scale buildup on faucets and glass shower doors. and general plumbing in the house. You may have noticed an unattractive white or brown crusty stain or rings on the foundation of faucets, bathtubs, appliances, water dispenser on the fridge, and other general plumbing. This is the result of hard water deposits. Over time, these deposits clog plumbing and slow the flow of water. Now, these stains you can see, but think about anything you can't see, such as elements in the appliances and the dishwasher, laundry machine. Build-up and scale on these elements not only affect the performance of the unit, but also cause an increase in service calls and leaks. And then, of course, hard water also causes dry skin, brittle hair, and then an irritant to eczema. Hardness minerals tend to clog pores and cause flaky, itchy skin, which is due to dry skin. And because the skin is dried out, secondary conditions could potentially arise, such as blemishes and acne. The same way hard water affects our skin affects our hair. It creates a scaly film which prevents moisture from entering the hair, which results in dry, dull, tangly, and brittle hair. And remember, if your skin is dried out, your scalp is dried out, which also causes dandruff. Now there's an interesting study that I want to share with you, and it's the potential savings realized by the average family of 4 when they run soft water through their home. And that total potential savings works out to about $1,014. And the study was done in 4 categories, and the first was soap and cleaning products. And if you recall that the average family will use about 75% more soap in a hard water environment. And obviously that would include laundry, dish soap, your dishwasher, bathing, shampoo, conditioners, and then of course other personal care. But you also use a lot more household cleaning products because you have to try and clean away all those hardness minerals that have been built up. So the average family spends about $1,326. Potential savings is 40%, which works out to $530. There's also gas and electric consumption, which is increased heat loss due to scaling. Average family spends about $505, could be saving about 30%, which works out to $151. And then of course there's washable items. This would include clothes, towels, and linens. And if you recall, because soaps are not being activated the way they should be, your clothes, your towels, and your linens are not washing the way they should be. So you're increasing the cost in replacing these items. So the average family spends about $983. About 25% of that could be saved, which works out to about $192. And then of course there's plumbing and appliance repairs. So due to that scale buildup that happens in faucets and elements and appliances, you tend to have more service calls in terms of replacement. So that works out to about $189. So 75% of that could be saved, which works out to $141. So as you can see, putting a softener into your home is really the only appliance that is paying you back because of the savings, the potential savings that could be realized. Water softeners use a process called ion exchange to soften water. This process is very simple. Essentially what's happening is it's exchanging one ion for another. Inside these units have a media called resin. The resin is coated in sodium ions. As hard water passes into the unit, the resin will act as a magnet and attract calcium and magnesium ions. As it does this, it will substitute out with a sodium ion. Eventually, at some point, the unit will have to go into regeneration to essentially clean off the resin bed of any calcium and magnesium it has accumulated. How this process works, it uses a strong brine solution with sodium ions to bathe the resin bed to remove any accumulated hardness. Once complete, the unit can then produce soft water again. Kinetico's premier water softeners ensure the highest quality of water efficiently, effectively, and effortlessly. These units are in a class by itself. What makes them different makes them better. Kinetico softeners are fully non-electric. These units work off kinetic energy. Water and electricity should not mix. Unfortunately, water softeners on the market use electronic boards to operate. Approximately 85% of warranty issues are the result of electronic failure, not only because electronics are not designed to last, but also because they are being used in a system that uses salt and water, which can cause corrosion over time. As Kinetico softeners are fully non-electric, they work off a metering cycle. The unit is set based off the hardness level, This will tell the system how much soft water the system can produce before a regeneration is required. As the household uses the water, the unit will meter this usage. And once the unit hits its capacity level, the system will initiate the regeneration cycle automatically, only regenerating when necessary, saving salt and water, and fully on demand. The regeneration can happen at any time of day. However, Kinetico softeners offer 24/7 treated water. You will notice the units have two tanks. As one tank goes into regeneration, the other tank will kick in and go into operation. This provides no interruption in service regardless of usage. Now, because of the two tanks, this system will use 100% soft water for regeneration. This allows for a more effective and efficient regen by using less salt and water. Essentially, the unit is using clean water to clean out a dirty unit. Single-tank electronic softeners do not offer this same level of engineering. First, the unit will regenerate based off a timer. The downside to this process is that the unit does not measure the usage and results in the regeneration prematurely or not enough. In addition, these units will use hard water for the regeneration process. This is counterproductive as the system is using hard water to remove hardness, which potentially results in more water and salt usage, but does not effectively regenerate the resin bed, leaving residual hardness. In addition to that, single tank units do not provide 24/7 soft water. As the system is regenerating, it will be offline. Any water you use during that period would be hard. In addition to this, the Kinetico Premier softeners have the option of having the SuperKit bypass pre-filter assembly, and they also come with a Platinum 10-year warranty. As well as all Kinetico units have Gold Seal certifications through WQA. As I mentioned, Kinetico Premier softeners are engineered to operate more efficiently, effectively, and effortlessly. So with that, I want to discuss the process Kinetico systems use for regeneration. These units are fully 100% on demand. As the household uses water, the system will meter that usage. Once capacity of production has been reached, the system will initiate regeneration cycle automatically. Kinetico softeners are engineered to regenerate the opposite way the unit services soft water, which is called countercurrent regeneration. This allows for an effective and effortless regeneration process. There are two service flows, upflow and downflow. Softeners that have the valve head on the left service soft water in a downflow motion, which means that when the unit regenerates, it flows the brine solution in an upflow motion. Reason this process is more effective is because the brine solution is working its way through the resin bed from less hardness accumulation to more. Softeners that have the valve head on the right service soft water in an upflow motion and regenerate in a downflow motion. The first diagram I want to show you is on the left, and it's a twin tank softener. And what you'll currently see is that the system is in regeneration, and you'll see here that it's cleaning. But you'll also see that the system is in operation. So hard water is entering the unit and serving soft water to the home. This allows for peace of mind of 24/7 treated water, regardless of the usage. These tanks will alternate back and forth as needed. Now the second illustration I want to show you is on the right, and it's a twin tank softener that's currently in service and regeneration. You'll see in the brine tank that it's blue water, that represents soft water. Red arrows represents hard water. So currently right now, the tank on the left is in production. Hard water is entering the unit down through the resin bed and servicing soft water up through the riser tube and into the home. The tank on the right is currently in regeneration. Soft water brine solution is entering in through the riser tube and working its way through the resin bed and out the drain. Now I'll play this illustration for you because it shows you the process. And what you'll notice is that when the one tank is done the regeneration, it sits there in reserve. And what will happen is once the other tank has metered out full capacity, it'll then switch over to that second tank and produce soft water to the home. As you can see, the water is flowing, and the one tank right now is currently in the process of producing soft water. Water is entering down and going up the riser tube where the second tank is on reserve. As you'll see here, the one tank is now in regeneration, and the other tank is now in operation, serving soft water to the home. Now, what's important to mention is that because the units use 100% soft water for regeneration, none of the metering gears actually touch hard water. So when the unit is metering water to the home in terms of production, it's only metering soft water leaving the valve head. In terms of regeneration, because we use soft water, the metering cycle on the regeneration and the gears, they do not touch hard water because there is no hardness in the water. This allows that protection for the valve head, as these gears can never get calcified. Kinetico's premier water softeners are certified by the Water Quality Association for NSF 44. NSF 44 is certification for residential cation exchange water softeners. You can visit the link below to see a whole list of the Kinetico products that are certified. Kinetico's premier water softeners have the option of adding the Super Kit. The Super Kit is a bypass and pre-filter assembly designed for Kinetico's 1 1/4 inch valve heads. First, the unit offers a pre-filter to reduce particulate matter from well and city pipeline. This filter helps keep the resin bed clean and prevent particulate matter from entering into the household piping. This filter should be changed approximately every 6 months on well water and yearly on city water. The bypass valve has 3 settings that are color-coded. We have green for in service, yellow for bypass, and red which is off. This setting shuts off the water flow to the home. The other benefit the Super Kit offers is a clean installation with the crossover setting. Traditional plumbing into the Kinetico softener is raw water entering on the left and treated water exiting on the right. Now, depending on where your city pipeline or your well piping is entering into the home, we can set the unit in a crossover flow setting. And what this allows us to do is have raw water entering on the right cross over into the unit, and treated water exiting on the right but crossovering and exiting into the home on the left. This allows us to do a clean installation without having to adjust any of the piping in the home. The Super Kit will also have a 10-year warranty on all parts. Traditional softeners do not come with a superior bypass system such as this. They typically come with what's called a slider bypass with 2 settings, either in service or in bypass. It will not shut off the water flow to the home. In addition to this, they don't typically come with a pre-filter assembly, which means any particulate matter entering into the home could get into the softening resin bed and dirty the unit. The first model in the series is the Mach 2060 softener. It's a non-electric twin tank softener with soft water countercurrent regeneration. The unit can be used on well water or city water, so it is effective in removing hardness as well as ferrous iron. Now, depending on your hardness level, that will determine how much soft water is produced before a regeneration happens. Based off 12 to 14 grain hardness, the unit will produce 634 gallons of soft water before the regeneration is initiated. During the regeneration, the unit will use 2.7 pounds of salt, 35 gallons, and take 45 minutes. Now remember, because of the twin tank operation, the regeneration time is not an issue. When the one tank is regenerating, the other one will be in operation producing soft water. The efficiency setting is 5.6%. And what this refers to is the amount of water used in the regeneration compared to the amount of water produced. The unit has a max hardness level of 66 grains and has a tested flow rate of 11.5 to 18 gallons per minute flow. This unit is great for a family of 4 and up, obviously if you're on well water with a higher hardness level and iron, or in a city with a larger square footage who require a higher flow rate. The unit will also have a 10-year warranty on all parts. The next model is the 2030 softener, Again, still a non-electric unit, twin tank softener with soft water countercurrent regeneration. It is a step down in size compared to the 2060 unit. Again, the unit can be used on well or city water, so it is effective in removing hardness as well as ferrous iron. Depending on your hardness level, that will determine the amount of soft water produced before regeneration. Based off 12 to 14 grains, the unit will produce 418 gallons of soft water. When the unit goes into regeneration, it will only use 1.8 pounds of salt, 29 gallons of water, and take 40 minutes. The efficiency setting on the unit is 6.9%. So again, the amount of wastewater down the drain for regeneration compared to the water produced. The unit has a max hardness level of 45 grains with a tested flow rate of 9 to 15 gallons per minute flow. This unit is great for the average family, whether it be on city or well water, and again will have 10-year warranty on all parts. The 2040 SOD is a non-electric twin tank softener with soft water countercurrent regeneration. This unit is a high efficiency compact system and can only be used on city applications. This system is the most efficient softener compared to any other softener. Now, based off 12 to 14 grain hardness, the unit will produce 329 gallons of soft water before a regeneration is initiated. During the regeneration, the unit will only use 1 pound of salt, use 7 gallons of water, and take 11 minutes. That means the efficiency setting is 2.1%. The unit has a max hardness level of 44 grains and a tested certified flow rate of 11 to 15 gallons per minute flow. This unit is great for the average family on city water and for consumers who are concerned about their salt and wastewater usage. The average family typically only goes through about 4 bags of salt in the course of a year. The unit will come with 10-year warranty on all parts. The last model is the 4040 SOD combination unit. This is a high efficiency system that can only be used on city water applications. You'll notice the system has 4 tanks. The bottom 2 tanks is a dechlorinator and the top 2 tanks is a softener. You will notice the valve head is on the right, which means that it services water in an upflow motion. Raw water will enter the unit, go down the riser tube, work its way up through the carbon bed, and then work its way through the resin bed and then out into the home. The purpose of dechlorinating the water is not to only extend the life of the resin bed in the softener, but also to give us better working water in our everyday lives. Chlorine is an oxidizing agent that will deteriorate softening resin over time, but it will also deteriorate rubber gaskets in appliances causing leaks. Chlorine is also an irritant to skin. It is used to kill living organisms in water during the treatment process. Unfortunately, chlorine is present in our water when it reaches our homes. Given our skin is our biggest organism, chlorine can potentially dry it out and cause skin conditions such as eczema. Chlorine will also destroy fibers and fade clothes. Now, based off 12 to 14 grain hardness, the unit will produce 329 gallons of soft water. The unit will use 1 pound of salt to regenerate, 13 gallons of water, and 11 minutes. The efficiency setting on the unit is 4%. You'll see these numbers are very similar to the 2040 model. The only difference between the two is that you have the 2 additional tanks in the bottom for dechlorination. The max hardness level is 44 grains, and the certified tested flow rate is 11 to 15 gallons per minute flow. This unit will come with 10-year warranty on all parts. However, the carbon bed in the dechlorinator is not warranted as it is a self-sacrificing media. At some point, the carbon will have to be replaced. Thank you for watching. I hope it was helpful in better understanding Kinetico's premier water softeners, and happy selling.